If I woke up tomorrow with no money, no income, no clients, no audience, no personal brand, no list, what would I do to get to $10,000 as quickly as possible? After working for 1,100 businesses and generating $64 million for my clients, there's only three things I would focus on, and that's exactly what I'm going to walk you through in this video. Now, before we get into those three steps, I want to give you an overview exactly where you are right now in your business, because there's 4 stages of evolution that every coach or consultant goes through, and I want to make sure that you're using the right strategy to get you to that next stage. So where we're starting for this particular video is your stage 1, you're a believer. That's 0 to 5K. And we're going to talk about exactly what you need to get to the next stage in just a sec. Stage 2 is you're a hunter, 5 to 30K a month. And the goal there is to build the sales, build the skills so you can get sales consistently. Stage 3 is the gatherer stage. And here the capacity is the bottleneck. You're doing between 30 and 100K a month. And the goal is to create systems that remove you out of the running of the business and the growing of the business. And then finally, stage 4, that's the harvesting stage. That's when you're doing over 100K a month. Business is fun and easy, and your systems compound on each other so that you can basically make money without actually having to work on the business. And so those are the 4 stages, so you can have an idea of kind of the progression. We're really going to be focusing today just on stage 1, getting you to that first 5 to 10K a month. So the first step in this process is your solutions list, right? We want to find the most valuable solutions to problems that you've solved, right? One of the biggest mindset shifts I try and get across my clients is just seeing how valuable the solutions they already have in their head are. Like, you're watching this and you've got, you're in your 30s, in your 40s. There are so many solutions to problems that you've solved that are extremely valuable. Our job is to extract all of those solutions, right? It might be a professional solution, something you did at work, or something you've done in your business, or it might even be a personal solution, right? But the job now is to extract that solutions. And I built an AI to do this based on all of the years that I've created offers and sold offers and found offers that worked. I created a custom AI that will actually look at your solutions and identify the things that people actually pay for, right? That's the important thing, right? We don't want to have just random solutions and use those, but we want to find the solutions to problems that you solved, but match those up to the things that people actually pay for. And I just did this with my client, Oliver, and he's solved loads of business solutions, but because he's the one's been solving them, to him, he thinks, well, it's common sense. But after having him sit down with the AI, asked him a few questions, it pulled out all of the most valuable things. We found that some of the problems that he solved are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, some of these solutions are extremely valuable, but he never really thought that because it was always solutions that were just independent of any other process of who to sell it to. And so that's what we want to do. We want to find all of the solutions that you've solved, and then we want to match those up to actual problems that people actually pay for. So if I was filling this out for myself, what are some of the solutions? I'd put down stuff like, get clients, how people make more money, use webinars to sell without sales calls. Now I'm going to stop there, but you kind of get the point. You can take all the solutions and write everything down. If you're using my AI extraction method, it will pull all those out for you. But ultimately, what you want is a list of all the solutions to valuable problems that you solve. Now, once you have all those solutions, okay, you want to take those solutions and you want to create a decision map. So this is the second thing I'll do. If I'm trying to get to my first 5 clients, like, I've got all the solutions, I know all the solutions to valuable problems that I've solved, I now need to create a decision map. And a decision map, think of it like a GPS system, okay? So imagine how a GPS system works. You've got the satellites in the outside of the Earth's orbit, and they can see every single destination, right? They can see the entire globe. But when somebody actually uses the GPS, the satellite doesn't give them the entire map, right? It just gives them the specific route from where they're starting to the destination they're trying to get to. Now, your clients, they have multiple starting points, okay? Because not everyone's going to be starting from the same place. And those multiple starting points, what we then need to figure out is, okay, we now know the solutions because we solved those problems. What are the different routes to get from point A, where our client currently is right now, to the solution, which is their desired outcome? And the decisions that you go through to get from point A to the desired outcome, right? Imagine how GPS works. Turn left here, turn right here, roundabout coming up, merge lanes. Those decisions, those are all the strategies, the tactics, the implementation that you would use to get somebody to their destination. So just imagine all the different starting points that somebody's got. Okay, let's use get clients, right? Let's imagine all the different, I'll use different colors for this, right? Let's imagine all the different starting points that people have, okay? So these are the different starting points. Now, if I'm trying to help someone get clients, what if they don't have any clients right now, right? What if they're starting from 0? Well, that is a specific route, okay? And there's going to be decisions on what to do, right? Because that decision might take them over there and not get them clients. This decision might take them over there. Now, let's say this person already has clients, but the way they're getting clients is taking them too much time. Well, they're going to have a completely different route than this guy, okay, than this guy. But it's still getting them to the same spot. Now, what if the person, right, is making millions a year and they've got clients, but what they really want to do is scale up? Well, that's going to be a completely different strategy. The point is the solution, okay, remains the same, but the ways that we get there is very different depending on where the client's starting or where the person is starting. And I know all the decisions, right? So if maybe the first decision is, well, what selling strategy should I use? Okay, well, you could link them to, you want to use one-to-many webinars, or what should my offer look like, right? Whatever it is, right? You're going to have different decisions to make on that journey. But the point is that every single one of those solutions that you created is going to have a path to get there depending on where your client starts. Your job is just to start mapping those out. And again, my AI will do all this for you. If you're using that, or if you're doing it by yourself, just kind of write it down. But you want to find all those maps and then have that decision tree so that we can complete the next step in this process. Decisions are how your clients and your customers, your potential clients, they go from the start to the solution, right? They go from the start to the destination. The destination is the outcome, their desired outcome, which ideally is a solution to a problem that you've already solved. Your expertise is knowing which route to take, right? It's knowing which decisions to make on that path. That's the thing people actually pay for, right? People don't pay for information, right? People don't pay for you just to say, hey, here's the destination. People don't pay to say, hey, this is what a map looks like. People pay for that route, right? I'm starting here. You've already solved the problem, which is at the destination I'm trying to get to. What decision do I make? When do I turn left? How fast do I go? When do I merge lanes? When do I hit the roundabout? Like, what's coming next? That's the thing that people pay you for, okay? But it's just a case of we take our solutions, right? We figure out the map, and then we map it all together so we know what that looks like. Now, once we have that, we're going to have lots of different routes and lots of different starting points to the destinations that our clients are getting to. Now, once we've got all those solutions, we've got that map, the worst thing that you could do is to go and build a course or I build a program. And this is the mistake that I made. Like I said, if I had to go back from the beginning and I do it all over again, this is the one thing that I would definitely not do. I wouldn't take all that and go and build a program. The first time I did this, I spent like 3 months, 4 months just building the course and building the program, trying to fit all the solutions. We don't do that. What we want to do, okay, is we want to prove demand by selling the offer first before we ever build it, right? Would you rather get some cash before doing anything, or would you rather build stuff and hope that people buy it later, okay? It's great to have solutions. It's great to have the map. But the only thing that matters, right? I'll never forget my aunt. She had this T-shirt that says, money talks, BS walks. And I don't know, I just remember that T-shirt from when I was little. Money talks, okay? People vote with their dollars. Someone could tell you, hey, I think it's a great idea. I could show you, on a map or on a document, hey, look at all the solutions we've created. But until people have paid you, it's just like, it's just an idea. So the worst thing people do right now is to have the solution to the map and they start building things. We want to prove demand by selling the offer first before we building it. And to do that, we create a simple offer doc, right? We just use a simple Google Doc. We're not creating a website. We're not doing anything like that. We create a simple offer doc that just outlines the solution, the map, and the process decisions to make to get there, right? It's very simple. That's it. The destination, right? The solution, the desired outcome, the decisions, which are your process on how to get there. And we put that doc in front of 5 people, okay? We are trying to validate this in front of 5 people, get 5 paying clients. Once at least one person pays you, okay, once at least one person pays you, then you can start actually building the thing, making it official. But our goal here, the only goal that we got to get from 0 to our first 5 or 10K is just proof of concept, because everything else up until this point is a guess. Once we've got that proof of concept, okay, then we can start to double down. What was the type of client? What point did they actually say yes? Which element of the client GPS, which element of the path, the solutions are they most interested in it? And then we double down on that. We try and find more of those clients. That's exactly what I would do, okay? I would put this offer doc in front of 5 people, 5 of my ideal clients. Once what somebody pays, then I actually go and start building the thing. And if we're just consulting, we don't have to build anything anyway, right? If we're just consulting, then we might just be meeting up with them a couple of times to help them implement something in their business or help them fix them something in their business or their personal life. That's the process of what we're doing, right? We are selling it before we build it, get the client, prove it works, then build a thing, rinse and repeat. Now, I'm going to be super blunt here because I know no matter how many times I say it, there are some people who are still going to try and build the thing before they sell it. And if you're doing that, it's just a polished guess. No matter how good the guess is, if you're building something before you've sold it, it's still just a guess. And so my on-demand workshop will take you through that AI extraction process. It will show you how to get the paid solution. It will map all the decisions, create that offer doc, and then show you how to get your first 5 clients. There's some details in the description or below this video. Read it and go ahead and start there. That's it from me. My name's Chin Gregory. God bless, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.